So podcast, I'm Darbi.
I am Kaitlin, and we have our friend Jack Little with us today.
Yeah, kicking off season 2.
Yes, we're so excited.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love
Good to be
this.
here. Good to be here.
Thanks, Jack.
I don't know what I'm doing, but it's nice to be here.
That's good. We don't either.
Expect the unexpected.
Yes.
That's what we're going to have.
Yeah.
Well, great. So, Jack, we wanted you to come on here to kick off season 2 because you're truly a jack of all trades. I feel
you
like
are.
you do so much stuff in our community, in our church. You've accomplished a lot in your life, and so could you just tell us a little bit about all the things you've done? Some of your favorites, maybe.
Oh, everything I've done is my favorite, especially if I completed it. That's few and far between. It's just part of, and I don't know why. First of all, I'm not a jack of all trades. I'm not handy with my hands. I don't have patience.
Me either.
I bother people at times, and people bother me. But I am a people person.
Yeah, I feel that.
And the only thing I can tell you that I've been able, God has helped me make a living running my mouth. And that's the only thing I'm good at is running my mouth.
There's hope for somebody.
Yes.
Oh, well, Jack, I know I grew up around you because
Yes, you did.
Jack's daughter was one of my best friends growing up, Hannah. I love Hannah, and I love Hagen, and so I was around you a lot. And, man, I never saw this day coming. Didn't know we'd end up here.
I didn't either. Hello. I didn't either. With that being said, I had some of the greatest times. My wife, she had a blast with the kids, with y'all and our kids. And, I'm one of those parents. Right now, if I could move them back in my house, bring I have one grandchild. If I could bring my son and we would move them back in.
Yeah.
We had so much fun raising those kids and going to all the events.
Yeah.
It was just truly a blessing.
Yeah.
And then when they leave, you're going,
What do we do?
what's
What
happening
now?
now? What is a classic. But it was a lot of fun back then. Enjoyed it.
Oh, I know. I know Hannah, just from my own experience with her, you were her person. I think you still are. She just adores you. And I think that can be said by a lot of people, Jack. A lot of people in the community, a lot of people respect you, and they love you, and they think a lot of you. And
that's awful nice of you. But the key to that is much like with my wife. I just never say no.
Yeah.
If you don't say no, they're all gonna love you.
That's true.
Do not say no. Okay, bunk, let's do it. Okay, yep, bunk, let's do it.
Okay, so with that mentality, why have you always been like that? Tell us about you and the community and saying yes.
I think so. I think I've always been community minded. I like people.
Yeah.
I like trying to figure them out. It's just
Getting anywhere with that?
I don't know if I've gotten anywhere, but that's like I said. I made God's blessed me to where I made a good living, been able to support my family, and being able to give back, by talking and being around people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how are you currently involved in the community? You're on the council board. What is that called?
City council.
City council. It's a board. It's council. Are you bored?
No, I'm not bored right now. No, we're not bored.
That's good.
Okay.
You don't get bored in that role. The city council, we're on the crisis center board.
Yes. Okay.
That's been a blessing. That's been a challenge, but that's been a blessing. The Wildcat Young County Appraisal District Board. Just active wherever I can be.
Yeah. You're here. You're active at church. Do a lot
yes,
there.
I am. As you know, I'm not a conformist. I say I'm a new Christian. I'm still figuring a lot of things out. But yes, I'm active here. I want to be active here. This is my church, and I want it to be the best. Sometimes I don't understand why everybody doesn't come here because I think it's great.
I agree.
Yeah.
Jack, there's a lot of people. How old are you? If you don't mind me asking.
How old do I look? I'm not 78.
How do
I'm
you act?
66.
66.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I can tell you, I feel like there's a lot of 66-year-olds that are kind of a bump on the log, sitting on the couch at home, not doing anything because they feel like I've done it all already. But you're involved. You're making a difference. Why do you care to do that?
Well, number one, I would love to. I laid around on the couch yesterday and watched TV. I loved it. But I got up this morning, I was tired. I was sore. How do you get sore? Just
From
sleeping, watching movies. But it does. As you get older, that's what happens.
Yeah.
It's not easy getting old. There's transformation. So on the other end of that, I try to stay busy.
Yeah.
I try to stay as busy as I can. I think somehow that's why I let my hair grow long. I'm still trying to look as young as I can for as long as I can.
Fake it till you make it.
Yes. COVID. Yeah, I started my hair with COVID. Let's get that elephant out of the room. So I started growing my hair with COVID. I couldn't get in to see a barber. We couldn't do nothing. I was mad you couldn't do nothing. Nothing. Couldn't leave the house, stay on the hill, bye-bye. And I just got to tell my wife, I said, Lord, I can't even get a haircut. I'm just letting it go. So I let it go. And I've just carried it forward. I'm still protesting.
Well,
I love it.
I'm still mad at COVID.
Yeah.
You can't we can't find enough referees for high school
That's
football.
true.
You can't go buy a new vehicle. You can't get parts. You can't do this, and it's all COVID.
Yeah.
So
You're right.
That's the
It
secret
changed
behind
a
my
lot.
hair.
So Lisa didn't want to touch that hair with a pair of scissors.
She would love to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lisa would love to, and I get the look from time to time. And she says our granddaughter has the same hairdo I do. Anytime somebody's got a bad looking do, it's like mine. I know that.
oh, it's the
love
Jack.
it.
It's the Jack do.
Yes.
I like it. I think
Well,
it should stay.
It's me. It's just something.
Yeah.
Something to aggravate her.
Yeah.
So there we
Well,
go.
that's good. We expect nothing less. Well, you mentioned that you are new to this whole thing with church and the Lord. Tell us about that.
Okay, well, I say I'm new to it, and it's kind of hard to explain. But there's a lot of you out there listening, and you too. I don't know, but there's a lot of people out there that's going to understand this. Mm-hmm. So I was raised Assembly of God by my grandparents and my mother. And my dad, too, when I was around him. But for the most part, it seemed like we going to church 5 days a week, day and night. Revivals, Wednesday night service, Sunday night, is all that. So, it didn't take long. And the first opportunity I got out of there. Mm-hmm. And I got away from it. And I used that as an excuse. Mm-hmm. For years, I used that as an excuse. Then we go on through my college life. Well, that was my excuse. I'm in college, don't have to go to church. And then I got out and went to work in the oil field. There's another excuse. Well, I'm in the oil field. We don't do church. We're doing this, we're doing that. I just kept coming up with excuses. And, I've said this, I've told people this, and I mean it, and I've said it several times. Hold on. The one regret I have with raising my kids is I didn't get involved. I didn't get involved in church. I did everything else. I did everything else, but I would take them and drop them off. And I regret that. They both turned out good kids, and they'd go to church, but I didn't go. I'd drop them off. And I tell these young ones now with the kids, I said, you better get a hold of that deal. You need to go, because now, it's hard to lead when you're not leading.
Yes.
It's hard to kick them out in the morning and say, get up, you're going to church if you're not going with them. Yeah. When they get old enough, they're not listening. They're going to be like I was. Yeah. They're not listening. I didn't have anybody make me. And so we move forward, and Kaitlin, so your dad, who's been a long-time friend of mine, we've been friends off and on through business and around the community. So your dad he's been after me about come to church. Come to church out there. We got this new preacher from Louisiana. You're going to love him. We got this, we got that, and blah. So I came, the first Sunday I came to High Ridge, basically, I'll tell you up front, I came to shut him up just because he was a friend and he had asked me so many times. And I felt like I need to go because bless his heart, he keeps that, so I'm going to go just to shut him up. And when I came, I could wear my hat. Yeah. Oh, you mean I can wear my hat? Yes, you can wear your hat. I can drink. You mean I can take that coffee in there? Yes. and just with the music, I love the music. I love her worship.
Yes.
That caught me first, and then the work. And it was like, okay, finally, we have a church that I love. I love. I have trouble focusing, but I can focus on the word at this church.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of, a lot of rules and everything. Here's the rule: show up, worship God, go home.
Good.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I like that. There's not a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
So after that first, after the first service, I thought, well, I'm gonna stay on this, and I stayed hooked up, and I enjoyed. It's. I get up on Sunday. I'm not making an excuse. I mean, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
When I pull in that driveway, I'm at church. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm wanting to.
Yeah.
I'm not over here. Oh, my foot's hurt. My foot's sore. My legs hurt. I pulled a muscle.
Can't go.
Yeah, I'm tired. I get up.
Yeah.
And that's what this church does for me.
Yeah.
That's why I define it as my church. And it's one of the first ones I've been to. It is the first church I've ever had that I felt that way.
Yeah.
Before I was just so really I gave my heart to God, my life to God. Probably I don't know. I can't keep track of time. 2.5 years ago, and I haven't backed up. Now, I was a little leery because now I'm going okay. All right, I'm going to have to straighten my mouth out. That'd be the first thing. It's going to interfere with drinking. And then I've got all these friends that I'm going, well, how are they going to perceive me?
That's good.
I kept going, it's going to be such a change in my life. Do I want to take that step? Am I going to lose my friends? Am I going to look silly because I've been this way for 50 years? I worried about that. I worried. I was worrying about that, but something kept telling me, let's just go on. Just shut up, Jack, and go on through the process.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, here we go. And I got baptized.
Yeah.
And man, I felt so silly because it's not. My friends, we're friends.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened. My wife was telling me the other day about how my mouth cleaned up, and that was. I don't really concentrate on it; just did. That's a God thing.
Yeah,
that's a God thing because I wanted to.
Yeah,
because I wanted to. But I think that's the most surprising thing about coming from the life of a heathen into a Christian life. It's easy.
It's not as complicated.
It's not as complicated.
Wow. Yeah.
We make it more complicated.
Yeah,
we make
right,
it bigger.
Jack.
It's not. If you truly believe it and your heart's into it, it's fine. And the people around you see that.
Yeah.
And it's not a problem with them.
Yeah.
I'd like to think it's. I'd like to think I'm encouraging some of them.
Oh yeah.
I'm
I
sure
believe
you are.
Yeah.
And now it's a work. It's a work in progress. It always is. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
I'm always, but it's something I embrace now. It's something that I appreciate.
Yeah.
It's something that I truly love working on, and I'm happy where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm happy where I'm at.
Yeah.
I think that's such an important part because, like you said, we're all a work in progress, but we do have to be content with where we are and where God has us, and that just knowing that we're going to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Yes.
And being confident, because I think that's what people love about you, Jack, is that you are confident in where you're at and who the Lord is to you, and so you make it okay for others to feel the same way.
Yes, Darbi. So I've talked about Kaitlin. Now let me talk about Darbi. Okay, as we stated, being brought up Assembly of God hardcore. So I'm used to seeing people running up and down the aisle. I'm used to that. But it's been a long time, and I never will forget. And one of the things I loved about you, Darbi, is one of the first services. You're on the front row. You got your hands up. You're dancing. You're hopping. You're skipping. You're praising. And I was I would keep my hands in my pocket. I'd keep my hands in my pocket. And the church started, the pastor started talking about, we don't want anybody, you don't be afraid to praise the Lord. Do not worry about it. Lift your hand. Whatever makes you comfortable, do. And it took, there again, that was another deal. It took me a while. And then finally I thought, it's silly. Why, if you want to raise your hands, if you want to shout out, whatever you want to do, that it took me a while to figure out why I came to church. And I didn't come to church to look around and wear what everybody's wearing. I didn't come to church to see who was there, who wasn't. I came to church, and I come to church now. This was a process for me. Because I worship God. I thank Him for what He's given me, because I can't tell you why.
Yeah.
I have not deserved the blessings I've received. But I come to church to worship and to thank Him, not ask Him for more. That's the other thing. I don't come to church when I'm in a bind and say, Lord, help me. I try to come every Sunday that I can and just say thank you and worship Him. And I think once I figured that part out, it made it so much easier. And then, if we're in worship and I'm feeling it, and we've got a hot song brewing, I will lift my hands to God.
That's good.
And it doesn't bother me.
It's so good.
But you inspired me there, because you're the first one I saw. I thought, ooh, she got a little Holy Ghost in her on that front
do.
row.
I love that.
Yes.
I think to the extent that you understand God's love, that's the extent you can obey Him. And I think when people have lived lives where they understand they were sinners at some point, when you really understand that, then you also can come face to face with God's love for you, and then that's what motivates you.
It's I tell you, and a lot of people think it's too late. I was 64. I'm not an atheist. I've always known there's God. I believe in God. I believe in heaven and hell.
Yeah.
I just, I didn't work at living that life until, like I said recently, 2.5 years, however long it's been. But it's really never too late.
No,
there's times that I say, oh, Lord, I'm never going to catch up. I'm never going to catch up with you. But you have to believe that He does forgive.
That's right.
You have to believe that He does forgive, and it's never too late.
Yeah.
And you just, I find that you just keep the faith. I'll tell you, it's a lot more calming. So the older you get, the more hyperactive you get. You worry about things more. I mean, I think it's a natural part of getting old. And boy, I was struggling with that until I gave my heart to God. I've settled down. I've learned that I can trust Him. I say, here, you take this thing. I'm tired of carrying it. You take it, roll with it. I'm going to follow your lead. And it works out. It may not be the way I wanted, but it relieves some of the stress off me.
Yeah.
It works out.
It does. Yeah.
It's been amazing.
Yeah, you can't really explain it.
No. It works out. I mean, it's just amazing. And I know people hear that and they go, "That goofy. What's he up there talking about?" Well, here's something I do know, and I'm speaking the truth. It works out. You just have to have the courage. You have to have the commitment. Just say, "Take it, Lord. Let's go.
Yeah.
Wherever you want to wind up, I'm with you. Let's go."
I think a surrendered life is a redeemed life, and Jack, listening to your story, do you feel like God has just redeemed some things in your life? And
well, I know He has, because I know He has, because like I said, He blessed me when I sinned Him.
Yes,
He blessed me.
Me too.
I'm going like, okay, what were you thinking to bless me the way I was acting? I don't understand it, but I will say that what I think was going on, the way I rationalize Him blessing me back then and continuing to bless me, is that He knew how I was, and He knew I would get involved and I would help
yes,
others.
Yeah, I believe that.
I think He knew, Jack, once I get you cornered, we're going to do something.
I love that. I think you're right.
And I think that's such a great hope that you're giving people, is that it isn't too late, that God is going to shortcut you. He is going to redeem it. He is going to use you. He had a purpose for you all along, Jack.
Yeah. The other thing, you can have fun being a Christian.
Yeah. Hey,
there's a misnomer running around, and I looked at it that way for many years. Boy, once I do that, the fun's over. That's it. That's it. No, it's not. No, fun's over.
It's got fun.
No. You can actually enjoy life. You can prosper, and you can have fun.
Yeah.
Being a Christian.
That's right. That's right. I love to hear it.
I know, I do too. Well, Jack, thank you so much for just coming on here and just sharing with us what God's done in your life and what He's continuing to do. It's such a good word for anyone listening, that it's not too late. And
you're so inspiring, Jack. And your word,
truly,
your word carries with a lot of people because you are consistent through and through. You show up, you make a difference, you care about people, you love your family. You're a good man. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Well, y'all keep talking like that, and I'll do this again.
Okay, we're going to do it again.
Thank you, girls. I appreciate what y'all are doing.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know what a podcast is, but I'm going to watch this thing, and I appreciate you reaching out any way we can. That's what we have to do nowadays.
That's right.
It is.
Thanks, Jack.
Well, hey, stay tuned for season 2. More episodes to come. Merch is also on the way, so make sure you're following along on all of our platforms so you can be the first to know about it. We'll see you next time.
See ya.